She was born on November 7, 1867. Her name was Maria Salomia Skłodowska. Her birthplace was Warsaw, a city without freedom, without sovereignty, and without mercy. At the time, Poland did not exist on the map. It lived under Russian occupation. Its language restricted, its culture monitored, its people watched. Stone buildings rose heavy and imposing, symbols of control rather than beauty. Winters were long. Silence was expected. Obedience was enforced. Inside a modest apartment, Maria learned early that intelligence could be dangerous, and ambition, even more so, especially for a woman. Loss arrived early and stayed. Her mother died of tuberculosis in 1878, after years of quiet suffering. Maria was 10. 3 years later, her sister Zofia died of typhus. Grief did not erupt in tears. It settled into discipline, into restraint, into endurance. Her father, once a respected teacher of physics and mathematics, lost his position for political reasons. Education was stripped from institutions and carried home instead. Books replaced comfort. Scientific instruments replaced certainty. Knowledge became inheritance. And resistance. Universities were forbidden to women. So Maria studied in secret. She joined the Flying University, an underground network where learning itself was an act of defiance. Rooms were dim. Attendance was dangerous. Yet she listened, memorized, absorbed. By day, she worked as a governess, isolated in the homes of others. By night, she studied until exhaustion blurred the page. Her letters spoke of doubt, loneliness, and an unwavering vision. Paris was not a dream. It was an escape route. In 1891, at 24 years old, she arrived in Paris with little money and no protection from failure. The city was vast, brilliant, and indifferent. She lived in an unheated attic in the Latin Quarter. Winters cut through her clothing. Hunger followed her into lecture halls. There were days when she collapsed from weakness and returned anyway. At the Sorbonne, surrounded almost entirely by men, she ranked first in physics in 1893. 1 year later, she earned a second degree in mathematics. Excellence did not grant acceptance. She was foreign. She was poor. She was female. Here, Maria became Marie, not by choice, but by necessity. Her world narrowed. Study, work, solitude, no distractions, no indulgence. Only progress. In 1894, Marie Curie entered her life quietly. He was introspective, uninterested in status, indifferent to wealth. Where others questioned her presence, he recognized her mind. Their bond was intellectual before it was personal. They married in 1895, rejecting tradition and comfort. Their partnership was equal, a rare defiance of its own. Their laboratory was not a place of prestige. It was a converted shed, damp, poorly ventilated, brutal. There Marie processed tons of pitchblende by hand. She stirred boiling mixtures for hours, day after day, breathing invisible danger without protection. At night, samples glowed faintly in the dark, beautiful, mesmerizing, deadly. In 1896, radiation was observed. Marie went further. In 1898, she introduced a new word to science, radioactivity. She proved radiation was an atomic property, not a chemical reaction. Atoms, once thought indivisible, were not immutable. Physics would never be the same. That same year, she announced the discovery of polonium, named for her occupied homeland, and later, radium, an element of unprecedented intensity. Consider this moment: modern nuclear physics, radiotherapy, diagnostic imaging, all trace their origins back to this cold shed. And a woman stirring glowing matter by hand. In 1903, Marie Curie became the first woman to receive a Nobel Prize in physics. Her inclusion was contested. Her recognition, conditional. Fame did not bring peace. It brought scrutiny. Then, in 1906, everything shattered. Marie Curie was killed instantly, crushed beneath a carriage on a Paris street. Marie was 38, widowed, alone. She did not retreat. She did not collapse. She returned to work. That same year, she became the first woman to teach at the Sorbonne. Standing before students in halls that once denied her existence, her voice was calm. Her delivery, precise. Her grief, invisible. Thank you for staying with this story, because what follows reveals the true cost of genius. In 1911, the press turned vicious. Her private life became public spectacle. She was portrayed as immoral, dangerous, foreign. Crowds gathered outside her home. Hate-filled letters arrived daily. Institutions distanced themselves. That same year, she was awarded a second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, for isolating radium and defining radioactive elements. She was advised not to attend the ceremony. She went anyway. Her scientific legacy expanded far beyond discovery. She developed standardized methods to measure radiation. The unit Curie would later be replaced by the becquerel, but her influence remained foundational. During World War I, beginning in 1914, she designed mobile X-ray units, the little Curies, and drove them to the front lines herself. She trained women to operate them. Over 1 million soldiers were treated because of her work. She never patented radium. She believed science belonged to humanity, not profit. The cost was irreversible. Her hands were burned. Her eyesight deteriorated. Her bone marrow weakened. On July 4, 1934, Marie Curie died from aplastic anemia, caused by prolonged radiation exposure. Her notebooks remain radioactive to this day, yet her legacy is everywhere in cancer treatment, medical imaging, nuclear science, and every laboratory shaped by her courage. From occupied Warsaw to the Nobel stage, Marie Curie did not seek permission. She transformed reality itself. What does her story demand of us now? How many minds remain unseen, unheard, simply waiting to be taken seriously? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Historical Iconography, and continue with the next recommended video to explore another woman whose life reshaped history.